All right, so as we know, as a buyer, you're going to need to interact with a seller. That's just how trading works. This is how that trading or that exchange is actually made possible, is when there's actually opposites. So if you're a buyer, you need to engage with the seller. So you need to understand where sell orders are resting. When the charts print, like actually physically print for your eyes to see a low point, that's when the market goes down, stops going down, and goes up. It literally looks like an upside down triangle. That is that point where it stops going down and begins to go up, that's called the low. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing a review. That low, what this is called right here, I'm not marking up my chart. There's nothing I'm doing to the chart. This line is simply a reference. When I put this line, it doesn't mean support, resistance. It doesn't mean I'm going to trade on it. Although I could if I want to. It just however I'm going to use it. But usually for the most part, when I'm putting this line here on this low, what I'm doing is I'm referencing the low. That's what that's called. It's just a reference. Why? Because I want to see the level where the market begins to put its hand in the cookie jar. Suppose there's a bunch of cookies in here. In here is called an extreme environment. Extreme environment exists below, or it's like beyond that low point. It's this area down here. So there's an area, there comes a point like right when you breach through that low, right here, boom. At that point, you're starting to dip into the cookie jar. Think of those sell orders. Make it red just visually. Think of those sell orders as the cookies. Now, I don't know about you, but there are times where I get this crazy sweet tooth and I'm like, dang, I want some cookies. Cookies sound good. And when I want the cookies, I make a move for it, bro. You're not going to stop me. And I make an effort. And so does the market. When it wants its cookies, you see a stretch. You'll literally see it run. It's called a price run. What is it running for? Think of it this way. It's running for the cookies. If you don't like to think about markets and stop orders and stop runs and all that crap, it's reaching into a cookie jar. But no, in reality, the market is just reaching in and grabbing all of the sell stops that are resting below that low point. And those sell stops are actually, for the most part, placed there by any buyers that are seeing this as a position of strength to the upside. And I don't know what the case may be all throughout this leg. Maybe they see higher highs, higher lows, whatever it is, double bottoms, all of that. It gets them into the buy and they put their stops under here. So these sell orders actually are pending orders that belong to a buyer in the market. So there's this idea that you're always going to be getting in after somebody gets in before you. It's kind of like you let them in first. You go ahead, you buy first, because then I'll see what order to take. That's how you got to think of it. If this low did not see, okay, hold on. Let's say the market opened like this, right here. Did this low print underneath a low?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Anybody else? Did this run underneath a low?
No.
Okay. Did this run underneath a low?
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did.
So this one's different.
Yes.
See, that is a difference. You can spot that difference. If you don't see a low that the market ran under, You're probably not. You're not purchasing anything. Remember the idea of inventory?
Yes.
If you go to the store, on the shelf, there should be inventory. It has a price tag on it. If you go to the shelf and the price point is too high, you won't take it off the shelf. You won't pick it up. But if the price is right, you'll pick it up. You'll buy it.
Might just even take two.
What's that?
Might just even take two.
Yeah, especially if they put those very special words, BOGO. You buy one, you get one free. Those are like deals. Those are discounts. Those are sales. That's what happens when price runs down. You got to think of that like that, because the industry teaches you to buy on the way up. I'm gonna keep on teaching you to buy on the way down. It's gonna feel very uncomfortable at first because it's completely opposite to what you're taught naturally. So you're gonna, in a sense, go completely against what the market what the market appears like when you do enter the market. And you got to get used to that, and somebody got to teach it to you this way and expose it to you this way, because in the real moment when it looks like this and you're trying to buy but everything looks like it's screaming down, you have to make that become like, oh, this is opportunity. That's what allows you to boldly trade in those areas, is because you study how the market runs into those areas at a certain time. So you guys remember what that HPE I taught you was? The other one for a buyer?
Buy below the
Buy
open.
below the open.
So I'm gonna put at, below, or near daily open price. And remember, HPE, high probability element. If the day were to be an up day, wouldn't it be a high probability to buy at, below, or near the daily open price, knowing that it's going to close higher than that open price?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Like, I would love to buy below that open price. So
I'm in there.
that's a
Me too.
HPE. And then another HPE is positioning your buy below
Low.
a low. And you see how we're using pure price? This is pure price confluence, if you would. I'm not, it's crazy because in the industry, it's like the more stuff you cover your charts up with, the more confluence you have. But that's completely opposite. It's the less tools you have and the more pure it is, the more confluence you have. The more of price can actually confirm itself. Like there's nothing I could put on the chart that helps confirm it. It has to fully confirm itself because it only references itself to print itself. What can I do? I can't control the market. Anytime you think what you put on the chart helps you, you're literally wasting time. You're at that point, it's the same as you turned off your brain and you're just playing with yourself. Like you're not doing anything. Like you're just coloring the chart and not learning anything about it anymore because you turned into a projector. You became a data provider. But that's not your role. You're supposed to be the data analyst. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The data is supposed to do all the talking. You're just supposed to sit there and listen. Sit there and watch. It does all the showing. So this is so obvious. Look, did this low go underneath a low?
No.
But check this out. Is it below the open?
Yep.
So, okay. Do you guys see what I'm getting at here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody finish my thought. Where am I headed with this? Go ahead.
HPE are usually at the open or the low.
So look, so should I this says buy at, below, or near daily open price. This is a low below the open price. Should I buy it?
You
No.
can.
Why?
It depends on what time.
That's the thing. It's like you don't want specific or too precise, like you said, because you're gonna miss out on entries. You know, like
But at what point, like what exactly is too precise versus what makes sense?
Thinking too much.
What makes sense is buying below the low
Why would that make sense?
because
because
there's
the sell
inventory.
stops.
Because there's inventory there. Remember, you go to the store, you want to reach for that shelf and actually grab something. If
Right.
there's nothing there, you're grabbing dust. You know what I'm saying? So
Looks
does that?
like you're entering the weak entry.
Yeah. But is this too precise or does that just make sense?
Makes sense.
It makes sense.
Because there's actually something there. Yeah, it's below the open, but there's no inventory there. This is setting up the inventory for you to take at a later time than this part right here.
Stacking up the shelves.
It's stacking up the shelves. Yes, this is the opening manager. He came to the store, he looked at the first shelf, he was like, whoa, there's a decline in the shelves. He ran to the back here, he put it back on the shelf, and there you go, stocked. Then this is opening bell. The person walks through the door, he comes in, he grabs the stuff out the cookie jar, he comes out of it. And there you go, you have an update. That's what you're anticipating. And you know what this is building?
Not candle.
A candle. Isn't this an up candle?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is what it looks like too. So I connected the open and closing to create the body. The rest is the highs and lows.
Weak.
So what did you guys just witness? I know it doesn't look like a big deal, but think about what I just did. What did I just do?
Trade. Well, not trade, but showed us an example of how to build a candle, or how the candle is.
What
the
did
whole
I
process
just,
of the candle.
bro? I want you to think about what I just did. What did I just do?
You like dissected it.
I didn't only dissect it. Come on, y'all. It's so obvious. Look at what I did. What did I just do? It'll blow your mind.
The chart and the graph.
Brainwash us.
Well, no, that's a process.
Make a body.
Come on, you guys see it.
Open low, high close.
What did I just do?
You built a
Build a
candle.
Yeah,
Traded.
I just printed one. Me. By hand, a human. I built what this robot built. I just did it by hand, and I show you the correlation. By hand. Like I could do it by hand. I could draw it. Like a language is readable, right? You can also write it.
Mm.
I just wrote out the story of trading activity to build this candle legitimately with all understanding. And I'm showing you a timeline of events that unfolded with the open, high, low, close points that actually generate this specific candlestick. That's how the markets work. Well, what did I just do? I just printed that understanding out of my brain to your screen using these tools that people draw on the charts with. I just printed a chart myself. I don't, and a lot of people, I don't even know if you guys are seeing how big that is. You can print charts yourself. That's why I say get a sketch pad. You're going to want to be drawing these things, and that's going to really enhance your qualitative data analysis because you're literally programming that thing into your body when you draw it. You're literally flowing that thought, that observation through your hand as you draw it. You're trying to capture what you see on paper. If you could draw it very
Right.
clearly, doesn't that mean you could see it very clearly?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're
You
like
can-
that's like front testing.
It's like what?
I would say instead of back testing, it's like front testing because you're creating it. So
Yeah,
you're seeing how it
Hey.
operates.
And David is a purebred, guys. He's not ever even been in the industry. Look, man, that was amazing. The Dang, say what you just said again, David, one more time.
I was saying, instead of back testing, you're front testing by drawing it because you're learning how to create. You're learning how it creates itself.
So in the industry, David, they will do this thing called like back testing, and they're looking and studying dead candles and previously printed data with no dynamics at all. And what you're saying is this allows you to draw the dynamics of trading activity.
Right.
Okay, cool. Just saying. It's more alive and it's more realistic and it's more tied to what you actually do or what you're actually trying to accomplish on the charts.
Right.
I recommend that you all spend some time drawing. I'll try to go find my sketchbooks and I'll show you guys, man. I have a lot of art sketchbooks full of drawings, full of them. I could draw I could fill up a whole wall of candlesticks in like 10 minutes, and some people might just sit there and just get tripped up in drawing them and overthink it for some reason. And I'll just start printing it like a computer by hand. It's by hand. How can I do that by hand?
You're a beast.
Nah, come on. It makes more sense than that because I'm a human.
You study.
Yeah, it's like I'm watching. I do some good old-fashioned chart watching, and I watch it tick and print and move, and I see this image enough times, and I can now duplicate it out of my hand. I become a chart printer, and I know what the market desires. I adopted the mentality that the market has when it moves. That's why I have these HPEs, because that's how the market works. Every time it goes below a low, it reacts. Every time it goes below the open price, that's the wick entry of the daily candle. Now you put those two together, you get this area below the open, below the low. That's right here. I want to give you guys a third one today. There's more, but I'm gonna just stop right here. Do you guys know what it is? Not any. If you do know what it is, don't say it. But if you don't know what it is, make an attempt.
I feel like I know it, but I'm not confident.
Then just say it.
Buy at a specific time below the open.
That's exactly it. Say it with your chest, bruv. You got this thing.
This man's gonna do well.
This man is already doing it. He understands it. It's just a process of refinement. That's where most of y'all are at. Y'all just got to understand refinement.
What is refinement?
Refinement, you're like, when you mine for gold, it comes in like an ore and it has like all these,
Right.
it has all these other metals in it and stuff like that. So it gets put in this very hot furnace and stuff, and it gets tried or refined to get like purified gold.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get you into like a golden mindset about how this thing works, basically. But look, buy at below or near daily open price. Okay, so this is below open price. Buy below a low. Okay. Why? Because it's not just because the low, you could just see it as that, but that's like the face of it. But what is it that's going on? It went below the low to pick up inventory, to pick up sell stops. That's what you're purchasing. That's actually what's up for sale at that lower price. The market runs down to give you a low price offered for those sell stops, and you could purchase it right there. Boom, boom. And that's usually, if you wait for this low if you allow this low to form and you allow the passing of time, what you're allowing to do is you're allowing orders to build up down here, so that when the market does come to a certain window of time, it'll grab those orders. So price will now align with time here. and create that low point of the day. That's the low. Those are the ingredients. You have to have inventory, you have to have timing and positioning. Inventory is in an area, it's in an extreme. So that's your location, that's your where, and then you need time, that's your other type of where, but it's your when. That's your when and where. That's the formula for a low or a high, but in this case we're talking about the buying, so that's the formula for a low. So that's how those HPs come together to create that. Do these all have to line up for you to take a buy?
No.
No.
Nah, they don't. They're just high probability.
Although that would be really cool.
That would
Oh,
be
it's
nice.
baller, bro. It's baller. If the
possible.
market, if you know the market is going to go higher, go ahead and just focus on being below the open and pick up lows, pick up some sell stops. It just makes that much sense. Anticipate the up move.